Hey, I'm Tiger Lily, but I'd prefer if you call me Dara. You've come to the right place if you want to see behind the scenes of the life of a DJ, a passionate vegan, and a crazy dog mum. Welcome to my channel. Don't be a stranger. Come say hi. Hey guys, I am Dara. You may know me as Tiger Lily. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Today we are going to be talking about traveling as a vegan and what it's like. Hopefully Lenny is not going to be squeaking that toy for the whole video. Are you going to be squeaking that toy? Lie down. Be calm and relaxed. Oh, that's nice. So obviously you guys know that I'm vegan and I travel a lot, both for work and for pleasure. And eating when you travel can be kind of difficult, especially when you do have dietary requirements. So I wanted to chat to you about that and give you a couple of tips and tricks that you can use when you're on the road. So when I go on holidays, it's a lot easier to prepare than when I am traveling for work. Just because when we're on holidays, for the most part, we're staying in the one place. I can spend some time researching beforehand, and it's a lot more slow paced compared to the tour life. A prime example is my Japan trip this year. I've just been to Japan, and I spent quite a bit of time researching food options before I went. So if you're vegan, this is one of the single most important things. Research, preparation before you go overseas, just because the internet is your best friend. So what I did, I pretty much got onto Google and I searched a whole heap of different vegan friendly restaurants in Niseko in Japan, which is where we were, and went onto their websites, looked at their menus, looked if they had English versions first of all, then looked at if they had vegetarian and hopefully vegan friendly options. Often I emailed the places and asked them about their vegan friendly options, and everyone is super nice, and most places have someone that can speak English looking after their their email account. I also got a whole heap of recommendations from some vegan friends that had been to Japan before, which was quite helpful. And you can do this wherever you go. I've done the same thing when I've gone away to America this year. It's just about, last year when we went skiing, it was just about being prepared and doing a heap of Googling beforehand. And I think the most important thing is communicating in a positive, friendly way. So if you get to the restaurant and you're hungry and cranky and tired, the worst thing you can do is be rude to the waiter. If you're super nice and super smiley, which I know can be hard because you're pissed off because they don't have any vegan options and it's really annoying, often they're not going to give you a vegan option, but it's pretty amazing what they can do if you're friendly. So that's kind of a really important thing as well. There are also other not tips and tricks, but things that I do when I'm traveling. So when I'm flying on a plane, I'll bring a heap of my own food, especially if it's a long flight. So I'll bring fruits and veggies and nuts and dips and crackers and lollies and whatever else I feel like, because you can apply for a vegan meal, especially if you're flying with Qantas and stuff. But I often forget to do that, which is really dumb of me. And then often the plane food isn't great anyway, so I'm happy to bring my own snacks. So that's something that's really helpful. Another thing that's great to do is to go to a service station or a Woolies comparison when you get to the place and stock up on local snack food. It's not always going to be the most nutritious, but having things like Cliff Bars or rice crackers, bananas, plain nuts, stuff like that is really, it's really great to have go-to snacks, especially when you're doing, say, a holiday that is like skiing and you're on the mountain all day. Often there's not going to be great options for anyone on the mountain, let alone for vegans. I know in America last year there was 2 places in the whole of Park City that had friendly vegan options. The rest of the options was hot chips or cold chips. And you get pretty bored of eating that. They did have potato tots though, so that was pretty great. Not the healthiest option. So yeah, top tips when going on a holiday are research and prepare beforehand. Stock up on snacks pre-flight and when you arrive into the country, and have a positive attitude with the different wait staff that you're dealing with. You can also cook your own food, whether if you're staying in like a service apartment or an Airbnb. But Scott and I are not great cooks, and we really love eating at nice bougie restaurants. So we always go out when we're on holidays, just because kind of that's what we do, unless we're on a camping holiday, and then that's different. But so that's like holidays when you're chilling. Lenny, I'm not throwing this for you. Come here. Come and sit with me. Guys, he's literally sitting right next to me, panting, wanting for me to throw the octopus. I always give in, he's too cute. So holidaying can be tough. I think the hardest places are like France and Germany, not in the main cities, from my experience. Touring can be really, really tough. The main reason why touring is tough being a vegan is because when I'm overseas for work, we're really not in many places for a long time. You might be somewhere for a day, maybe maximum 2 days, and often you're in weird places of the country. Like you might not be in a major city, you might be a little bit out, somewhere a bit remote because there's a festival or a club show that's like in the middle of nowhere. It's bizarre, and a lot of the time you're spending it at airports. So before I went vegan, I'd actually always like put on weight when I was on tour because I'd be eating shitty food all the time. But now that I'm vegan, I often, and I know it's not great, but I often can't eat a lot of the time, and your only options are like bananas or nuts at an airport. So you end up eating those foods and less of them just because there's less options. So it is kind of what it is. I've really learned when I've been touring overseas that as soon as there's a great vegan restaurant or option, like order it, maybe order some more to take for later. I would hate to like have missed out on a great vegan option and then not be able to find food for the next like 24 hours. Especially like, you know, one day I'm playing in Germany, the next day I'm playing in Greece, the next day I'm playing in Sweden. You're spending the majority of the time at airports. And the airports are getting better. Like there are some amazing vegan options at some of the Swedish airports, but then like the German and France airports are just like so shit. Like you guys don't even have any idea. It's just like Oreos, chips, bananas. And bananas if you're lucky. Anyway, so there is that. There's also an app that I use called Happy Cow, and I use this when I'm traveling for holidays as well. It's really awesome. It tells you all vegan, veggie, and even just vegan, veggie friendly restaurants globally, which is super cool. And so that is quite helpful, especially when you're only in a place for a really short amount of time. Another thing I've done, which I know this won't apply to too many people, but if you're watching this and you're a DJ and you've just started to tour, or you're touring, or you're traveling a bit, I've put on my rider some bananas and strawberries. So if I haven't eaten before the show, which is quite often, and I rock up and I'm hungry, or we've just come from the airport, got changed in the transfer, and I'm going straight on stage, I know I'll be able to have a banana or two before I go on stage. So I'm gonna feel at least fueled for a minute. So I can like, you know, carry on and do my show okay, not be starving. So I think that was a game changer as well, knowing that when I had my shows, I'd have some like fresh fruit there to eat. And of course, the more famous you get, you can request the more crazy stuff, but I just request simple stuff like bananas and strawberries because it's quick and easy and healthy and easy for like the promoters to access as well. Another thing that I do for the snacking when I go overseas is I buy snacks and like take them overseas with me. So muesli bars, nut bars, that kind of stuff, protein bars is all really, really great because you can just take it anywhere and it doesn't need to be kept cold or anything like that. And it's really awesome having snacks on the go. There are really yummy protein balls. I can't remember what the brand's called. They do pre-packaged mini vegan protein balls and they're really yummy. So my suggestion would be to find healthy-ish pre-packaged food and take it with you, especially if you know you're going to be eating on the go a lot. And a lot of these dried and packaged foods aren't too heavy, so you can kind of carry them around anyway. On a more positive note, like everything is changing so quickly and there are so many more vegan options in places like that you wouldn't believe, which is super, super cool. But some parts of the world are still definitely catching up, especially countries that aren't necessarily westernized often don't, or for me, I struggle to communicate what I need. So using apps like Google Translate can be really helpful, and just requesting really basic food options like rice and veggies, or rice and tofu and veggies, or plain pasta just with a tomato-based sauce. Thinking of simple meals that are familiar to the place that you're in, and being able to translate that to the person who's the waitress, or the waiter or the chef, is really important as well. But I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is to try, and I know it can be hard when you're hungry and cranky and tired, try to be positive with the people that you're speaking to, because people really genuinely want to help you find food that you can eat. It's just about being nice and positive. I'd love to know what you guys do if you are vegan or veggie, and if you do travel quite a bit, where have some places been that are amazing for vegan options? Where have some places been that are terrible for vegan options? Back when we went to Africa when I was like 19 maybe, oh my god, there is a wasp that is eating a huntsman in the backyard. Look on the broom. Oh my god, that's fucked. What? This is Australia, guys. Right now there's a wasp that's about this big, and it's red and orange, and it's pulling a huntsman spider this big, which it's obviously killed, over my deck and onto the grass, and taking it to its nest. I wonder where its nest is. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Africa. When we went to Africa when I was 19, I wasn't vegan back then, but I didn't like all the meats and stuff weren't sitting funny or well with my stomach. So I literally just ate rusk, biscuits and black tea for like 3 weeks, and I ended up losing like 7 kilos. It was pretty bad. So what countries have you been to that are shocking? What countries have you been to that are amazing? I hear Sri Lanka's amazing. I haven't been there yet, but I'm super keen to go. Of course, places like Bali are incredible, and America's pretty easy. I hope this has been kind of informative. If you're going to travel, make sure you prepare, make sure you don't download Happy Cow, the app, and bring a positive snacky attitude with you, because that will always help. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure if you like this video, like and subscribe. And if you would like me to talk about any other vegan topics like this, I'd be more than happy to. So put them in the comment section down below. Mwah!